Assalamu alaikum. This is Radio Pakistan. The news read by Muhammad Munib Hamid. First, Prime Minister has expressed government's resolve to provide congenial atmosphere to foreign investors in the country. President says China-Pakistan economic corridor will help Pakistan tap its full potential in various fields. Foreign Minister has said Pakistan believes that a stable and thriving partnership with the United States is vital in fluid regional and global environment. In occupied Kashmir, India has conceived a plan to set up a Nazi-type concentration camp to torture the Kashmiri youth. China says Kashmir issue is dispute left from history and should be resolved in accordance with UN resolutions. Russia has urged Iran and the United States to wind down tensions. And now the news in detail. Prime Minister Imran Khan says PTI-led government is committed to provide congenial atmosphere to businessmen and foreign investors in the country. He was addressing a high-level meeting in Islamabad today to review measures taken for effective implementation of recently introduced e-commerce policy in the country. The Prime Minister said e-commerce policy will help provide job opportunities to youth, promote small and medium-scale businesses, provide empowerment to women, and enhance foreign direct investment in the country. During the meeting, the Prime Minister was given a detailed briefing on the government's measures taken for effective implementation of the policy. Prime Minister Imran Khan today visited residence of Special Assistant on Political Affairs Naeem ul-Haq and inquired after his health. In a tweet, Naeem ul-Haq said the Prime Minister held hour-long discussions with him on prevailing political situation in the country. President Dr. Arif Alvi has expressed optimism that China-Pakistan economic corridor will help Pakistan tap its full potential in the domains of energy, industry, and infrastructure. He was talking to Ambassador of China Yao Jing, who called on him in Islamabad today. The president termed cooperation between both the countries on completion of various projects under CPEC is exemplary. He said friendship between China and Pakistan has stood the test of time, and CPEC will play an important role in further cementing bilateral relations between the two countries. Foreign Minister Shah Mahmood Qureshi says Pakistan believes that a stable and thriving partnership with the US is vital in this fluid regional and global environment, both in East and West. In a tweet, he said he had constructive session at Center for Strategic and International Studies in Washington, where he spoke of reframing the strategic Pakistan-US relationship, laying out our vision for the bilateral relationship. In an exclusive interview with Fox News, Foreign Minister asked the United States for a responsible withdrawal of troops from Afghanistan and not to repeat the mistake of 80s pullout. He said Pakistan facilitated a dialogue with Taliban on the request of President Trump in a hope for peace and stability in the region. Shah Mahmood Qureshi said Taliban are today talking to US and there is a possibility of an agreement. When asked whether Prime Minister Imran Khan will participate in the Shanghai Cooperation Organization's regional summit in India later this year, he said the Prime Minister is very, very clear that if India takes one step, Pakistan will take two. However, he regretted that unfortunately India is showing a negative attitude. He said India is resorting to repression and use of force in occupied Kashmir. The foreign minister also highlighted the siege in occupied Jammu and Kashmir and the controversial passage of bills targeting minorities, particularly Muslims. The foreign minister said his recent talks with Iranian president were aimed at de-escalation and diffusion of the conflict to avert negative effects in the region. This is Radio Pakistan. The European Union has expressed interest to further increase cooperation between supranational body and Pakistan to help assure that commonly agreed objectives are met. The interest was evinced by Ambassador of European Union Ms. Andreola Caminara during a meeting with Minister for Planning and Development Asad Umar in Islamabad today. Speaking on the occasion, Planning Minister Asad Umar said financial inclusion and true empowerment of youth-related projects, primary health and primary education and climate change sectors are top priority of government. The EU ambassador expressed keen interest to work closely with Pakistan in order to promote our shared EU-Pakistan objectives. Special Assistant to Prime Minister on Information, Dr. Firdaus Ashikiwan, has appreciated Indian Muslim women journalist Rana Ayyub for exposing the fascist agenda of Modi by executing her professional responsibilities with bravery. In a tweet today, she said, "When a valiant person raises his voice against oppression and persecution, it becomes a bright and commemorative chapter of history." The Special Assistant said Rana Ayyub has unveiled the false claim by Modi government that all is well in occupied Kashmir and revealed deserted roads and darkness of fear in Srinagar before the world. She said an article titled "Blood and Soil in Narendra Modi's India," published in a journal of New York, in a splendid acknowledgement of the capabilities of Rana Ayyub. In occupied Kashmir, India has planned to set up Nazi-type concentration camps for the Kashmiri youth to starve, torture, and kill them. Addressing a conference in New Delhi, warmonger, former Indian Army Chief and incumbent Chief of Defence Staff General Bipin Rawat said, "Young Kashmiri children are being radicalized and they need to be identified and put in de-radicalization camps." Rawat also claimed that Indian forces could not be blamed for injuries caused by pellet guns and that radicalized stone pelters were more dangerous than the pellet guns. All parties, Hurriyat Conference and other liberation organizations in their statements have said, in the name of de-radicalization, the Kashmiri youth would be tortured in new camps. China has expressed its consistent and clear support on Kashmir issue. Spokesperson of Chinese Foreign Ministry in weekly briefing in Beijing today said, "Kashmir issue is dispute left from history and should be properly resolved following the UN Charter through relevant UNSC resolutions and bilateral treaties and in a peaceful way." The spokesperson said the UNSC members at their meeting on Wednesday were concerned about the current situation in Kashmir and called on relevant parties to observe the UN Charter, international law, and resolve the dispute peacefully. The spokesperson said the issue between India and Pakistan has always been on the UNSC agenda and the UNSC should pay attention to the situation in Kashmir based on the latest developments to help de-escalate tensions and proper settlements. Russia has urged Iran and the United States to wind down tensions after Iranian forces accidentally downed a Ukrainian passenger jet. Russian acting Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov, in a statement in Moscow, said the tragedy was very serious and a signal that everyone should start working on de-escalation and not on constant threats. He said an increase in tensions between Iran and the United States will not help settle any single crisis in the region. And finally, the weather. Mainly cold and dry weather is expected in most parts of the country, while very cold in northern parts and North Balochistan during the next 12 hours. However, rain, thunderstorm with snowfall over hills is expected at isolated places in districts of northeast Punjab and Kashmir during morning. Fog is likely to prevail at a few places of plain areas of Punjab and Upper Sindh during morning and night hours. And now we shall repeat the headlines. The Prime Minister has expressed government's resolve to provide congenial atmosphere to foreign investors in the country. President says China-Pakistan economic corridor will help Pakistan tap its full potential in various fields. Foreign Minister has said Pakistan believes that a stable and thriving partnership with the United States is vital in fluid regional and global environment. In occupied Kashmir, India has conceived a plan to set up a Nazi-type concentration camps to torture the Kashmiri youth. China says Kashmir issue is a dispute left from history and should be resolved in accordance with UN resolutions. And Russia has urged Iran and the United States to wind down tensions. And that is the end of the news. For more news and analysis, log on to our website, radio.gov.pk, and also watch live video streaming of our bulletins on the link facebook.com/Radio Pakistan News Official.